Hi, welcome to Jadekind Gaming. My name is Adam. Here with Austin as Erich, Ryan as Henwick, Bob as Kalidan, Nick as Jimmy. We're here for the 32nd session of the Underland Dungeons and Dragons 5th edition campaign. Last time, you spent the day at the Queen's Ball.
Yep.
With whatever. Trying, seemingly unsuccessfully, to set up
Yep. The princess. I think I might have convinced some dudes to go and fight dragons, though.
Good for you.
Imagine one of them succeeds, they'll be famous.
Let's see here.
Very famous.
Some of the others mingled outside, trying to find rumors. Henwick met grandfather.
Yep. Orderus Tormel.
With his mage guild, and plans to meet Grandmaster Bereven at the guild house in the morning. Erich is ready to leave town, finally.
Yeah.
And we ended as you were going to bed after the ball. You met a lovely lady-ish. Turned her down. It's just the kind of guy you are, I suppose. So, you were settling down to bed.
Yep, and I wanted to do something before getting to bed.
Yep.
I'm going to grab my book about the deities, open it up, and I'm going to read the chapters with Erithaniel and Iuz, if he has a chapter.
Which two are those?
Erithaniel, god of slaughter, Iuz, god of deception and deceit.
Are you listening him after people that theoretically Vecna could absorb their domains?
Well, I mean, he could absorb any domain.
But
That's
he
his
seems
secret.
well fit to get those. Deceit, secrets, lying, secrets, those kind of go together.
God of slaughter?
He's an evil necromancer, man. I can see him just killing people and making undead.
So Erithaniel would have one. I'm not sure if Iuz is in the Pantheon for this game.
He's whatever, Vanilla Greyhawk.
But this is the D&D Pantheon, not Greyhawk.
Well, he's still in there, right?
How do you spell his name?
I-U-Z.
HK. No deities beginning with I. So there's no such thing as Iuz, but Erithaniel's in there, so yeah, you can open up and
Okay. I
read through,
Erithaniel's chapter.
trying to provide information on locating.
Look, I know where he is. He's in Pandemonium in a bunch of caverns with howling winds that drive you crazy.
I mean, finding Erithaniel is usually not a problem.
Yeah, it's actually dealing with Erithaniel that's the issue.
To be fair, once you're in Pandemonium, it can still be
I don't know.
difficult. Furthermore, it also makes it where most information about locating it is probably out of date. Pandemonium and all.
It's dark and cavernous, and everyone wants me to go nuts.
I don't know. Let's just send the fish to Sigil.
Yeah. But there are no gods to Sigil.
There's just pain.
Yeah.
Specifically, the closer you get to Sigil, the less divine power gods have.
And gods are not allowed in.
Yes, because Lady Pain, who may
Except-
or may not be godly.
Except for one, but that was temporary.
Dreams with flocks of
Dancing birds.
ravens, with feasts and revelry.
Yeah.
You
I'm gonna
don't
start keeping a journal of what I think's gonna happen in my dreams.
ha! Pre-dream. Just check marks when you're right.
Yes.
Otherwise, morning comes. You all wake up.
Go get a hearty breakfast before we set out for the day.
Yeah, wake up and I guess I'll go and see when the two of them are ready.
So you go to the guild house, and there's no direct plans.
You meet us at the gate.
Oh yeah, I'm at the guild house.
Well, yeah, I'm saying meet us at the west gate. We're gonna head there and wait for you.
Okay.
It's like there wasn't specific plans so much as they had some time before they were leaving.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I tell them that we're planning on leaving today. So.
Right. What was it that you needed?
Oh, you were going to give me the teleport circle key in order to get to the city that you guys are stationed in.
Oh, yes, of course.
Cabrixnim.
Kind of walks over to one of the bookshelves along the wall, opens up, and sort of sets out a book on a table. You can jot that down as you need.
Okay. Did whatever I flip mine open, I'm like, do you need any of these keys? I mean, I'm sure you have the one for Narmixel already, but do you need these other two?
Do you know where they go?
Only vaguely. I haven't been there, and it wasn't specified when I wrote these down.
Probably better if you choose to investigate, assuming there's no knowledge about them amongst the tomes, that you would copy down along with information of where they go, and you can really bring them here or any of the guild houses as far as just documenting things.
Okay. I'll drop them off once I get a better understanding of where they go.
Right. They continue sort of packing things up, and
but it also did sound like you just had a bookshelf of portal gates with information on each of them.
But I go ahead and introduce myself to the Archmage, and tell him who I am, how I joined the guild, and then that I had plans on setting up my own guild post near my hometown once I get done with my current
quest duty.
Yeah, my current tasks.
Good. Make it secure. It's always welcome. Always welcome. So you've settled to a spot to be holding it. Right.
No. Is there anything that I should be looking out for or aware on my end, as far as anything that we'll need in any sort of immediate time?
There's no grand opposition that we're facing that we're needing particular reagents for, but of course general spell components if you come across, or just anything like that. It's always useful.
Yeah, I dropped some off earlier.
Thank you.
Yeah, in case anybody needs silver spoons.
Yes.
Okay, well, I'll go ahead and say I'll go ahead and do my work now, and I'll be off here in a bit. Safe travels.
And you kind of notice, like within the guild hall, as far as them packing things, Guildmaster seems, while he had almost sort of high and mighty at the at the event the day before, he is just like literally helping pack things with grandfather with no real sense here that he's necessarily set apart from him, other than just, work has to be done, we're going to sit down and do the work. So, just in general.
Okay.
Otherwise, probably takes you 20 minutes copying down the circle and such, the spare bits of your book. And if you're able to use it when needed. Beyond that, yeah.
Okay, so I'll have key to Cabrixnim.
I'm gonna go pick up more rations. It's 5 silver a ration, right?
What? It has been before here.
Then yeah.
Excuse me.
Price hasn't gone down.
Give me a couple levels and we won't have to worry about that no more.
What, your hut comes with food next time?
Next time.
Yeah. That's over. You just head out towards the west gate, or
Well, we buy a ration, then head towards the west gate.
so you all just doing that together, three of you?
Yeah.
I send a message to the dwarven smith guy.
As
Tell
you
him I'm
leave
leaving
that
town.
stone with him.
She said, "Give it to someone I trust."
A well-dressed, kind of mousy drow man kind of locates you. Sir Raspe
Yes.
has sent to locate you. Have this letter. Kind of hands it, bows his way out, and it's, all neatly laced kind of parchment and stamped and sealed and spider.
Open it up.
Yeah.
Read this.
It's all on nice parchment, but it's just sort of a quickly written bit, basically saying, if your tongue can be kept silent, your absence might be better suited than you think. There's no signature.
What?
Now you're just generally confused and howling out. If they left me alone, I probably would have never done whatever they think I would have done.
I don't know. I'm leaving. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you send your message, you buy your rations.
You don't know what you're waiting for, Roll.
Yeah.
Well, I grab
head out
crossbow
after
bolts, too.
I'm
Okay.
done with my work.
How many? Mister shoots 10 at a time. Yeah, Clink has 12. That's plenty, right?
I'll grab 5 gold worth, that's 100.
10 shots. That's it.
This also takes up a large amount of space.
It's fine. He doesn't carry anything. They're not dead bodies. They can go in the hole if he wants.
Mm-hmm. It's not like I load them in combat.
Mm-hmm.
Here, just give me a while. You guys are doing great.
You need a speed loader. A bolt speed loader. You just shove it into a barrel of bolts, it grabs 10, shoves them into the thing.
With the design on that crossbow, the way that would efficiently work is you would have more than one of those crossbows.
Just
If it weren't as-
modify the crossbow.
If it weren't as much as a magical item, I would go back to that town and just have him design me a speed loader or other things. Just attachments, like a laser sight
Can
for
this
my
be
sword.
a belt-fed crossbow?
No, but he might be able to do that too.
Yeah, I could see getting a repeat. You had Eldritch Blast, that's better. Yeah, but look at this thing.
Yeah, he was a bit of a...
Gnome Tinker genius.
Yeah. Otherwise,
Come to something.
so do you just sort of wait and meet in the
we're still waiting.
in that district for Ryan, or do you actually head out the gate? What do you do?
Go up to the gate. I assume there's a door of some sort, and we're waiting on the inside.
Okay. Yeah, basically it is a much smaller tunnel than the east, but there's a bit of a tunnel, and you sort of wait at the open gate on your end. And as you stand and wait, every so often, there is light from the far end that is like a sudden short burst of fire.
Is there gate guards here?
Yeah.
From where?
What's that?
From outside.
Oh.
Like volcanic activity over there, or just...
Is that a problem?
No, it's just maintaining property difference with the neighbors.
I just look at him and it's like, why are you being so cagey? Are there dwarves or something out there? Or what's the fire about?
Well, we keep the neighbors from growing into the city.
Who are the neighbors?
The molds.
Yeah, see, the answer would be, we're using fire against mold people.
Well, we wouldn't attack them. They're quite amiable. Have you never...
There are mold people?
Well, that's a good question. There are mold people? It's like, you said neighbors.
Did we meet these when I wasn't around?
I don't think we've been out this gate before.
You have not been out this gate before.
No, I say that to the guards. I'm looking around. I don't think we've been out this gate before.
Right. Well, yes. The cavern adjacent to here.
Filled with mold.
Yes. Mold, fungus.
Poisonous, and should we not go through it?
It can be. Careful what you touch.
Okay.
Careful not to sit down for too long. In general, the courteous.
Okay.
Most of them. You know. Much so as you'd find here.
As nice as Drow writes down on paper.
No, I'm writing down that I have that unsigned letter.
Mm-hmm.
Just gonna keep that.
Just Skyrim it, hold on to it forever.
Yeah.
Like, this has 0 weight. Just
Bam.
throw it in the bottom of the bag and ignore it forever until it comes up.
Man, my caster has so many arrows for
Yeah,
the
it's more
bow
like
he
just-
doesn't use.
Just throw out the pole and just toss it in.
Mm-hmm.
You're there for probably about 10 minutes before Henwick shows up.
There's mold this way.
Mold. Hey, of the different types of mold, have they all been classified yet?
There are certainly kinds that haven't been, but there are lots that have.
Any of them paralyze people?
Yes.
Would you be able to describe it?
I want one.
Make a nature check?
Inspiration.
Okay.
Well, that did.
7.
Yeah,
12.
so, you're confident that there are certainly molds that would, but,
I asked the
you're-
guards if they know. No. Okay.
they kind of give you dumbfounded, like, why would we care? Yeah. Yeah, you're not exactly sure what. It's not been your...
So you're saying one of the guards is an amateur herbalist? Just a passion project, that's his hobby?
For Drow, they're supposed to have poisons. Racist all Drow have poisons. Crossbows.
Even if they did, they would use drow poison.
Yeah.
No, almost all people have poison in their household.
Mm-hmm.
And drow just have drow poison.
Mm-hmm.
Use it to clean tough stains.
So go ahead and get a just a piece of cloth tied around my face. Onward! Like a little bandana.
Yeah, I know what you do. I'm just... and yeah, you sort of mark out the other side, and the cave kind of slowly widens from the door for about 30 feet distance, and about halfway down it, as it gets close to, as the cave's mouth starts to just close, there are a pair of drow guards with long redwood staves that just sort of every so often just sort of point it along the barrier and just sort of brush as mold grows back. And it's... You'd have to sit and watch it, re-advancing, but otherwise it's, at this point, it's a light, kind of purplish just sort of fuzzy kind of mold that is just sort of around all sides of this, what is around the area they're taking care of, about 15-foot tall, cavern mouth.
This is the direction the compass points?
Yep.
So I asked them, like, what's over that way?
More of this.
Nah, this is a magic compass. There's gotta be something neat over there.
Let me guess,
A lot more of it?
you don't go past the mold, do you?
Nope. If they need to trade, they usually come here to us.
No, so there are actual people. Not just mindless mold.
Yes.
And they're not hostile? Do they control this mold?
Well, I believe they've cultivated it, but I believe at this point it's just growing.
So they expand their creep over this way. Does it allow them to travel faster?
Not really sure. Well, some of them for sure.
Well, onward, gentlemen.
Yes.
Adventure awaits.
And they'll just sort of, turn off the flamethrowers and...
Also, where can you pick up one of those? Is it just a tiny flame, or could that be used as well?
No, they are shooting the 15-foot tall ceiling for one with it.
Oh, okay.
You're not sure exactly how far it shoots, but sort of he
At
shrugs.
least 15 feet.
Yeah, he sort of shrugs, and there were gifts from the Myconids.
Oh. Maybe they have cooler flamethrowers.
From the magnets?
Myconids.
So if you rob them, it's not theft because it's free. The loss of value is $0.
That's not how that works.
Well, they can't sue you for loss of property. You didn't deprive them of anything of value.
You still have property, though.
Yeah, slap on the wrist. You get to keep it.
Are you guys able to identify the different types of mold? Do you know which ones are dangerous?
I mean, sort of.
Some of them burn less than others.
Okay, I get a brief description from them
Yeah.
of what they think is dangerous.
Is
Now we
there
get
anything they can just point out and say, don't step on those?
There's from right here at their vantage point.
Mhm.
This tunnel continues on for a ways after this, and mostly what you see is this same stuff that they're shooting. But he sort of pauses for a moment. He's like, I mean, lots of them are dangerous. If you don't know that it's safe to eat, don't eat it. But in general, just interacting with it, if it's brandishing a weapon, maybe be cautious. Are you familiar with an eye tyrant?
Probably.
New product from Apple.
Well, if you see a large floating bit of fungus, round, more smaller mushrooms on top of it, don't break it open.
I think we're more just saying we shouldn't touch any, bright glowing ones that poison you. We weren't really thinking about the living, thinking ones.
Yeah, no, I was thinking just normal fungus.
Well, not the best expert. I don't really mess with it much myself.
Okay.
You wouldn't have been the first ones to walk out of there, and if you come back with too much on you, well, we may have to torch some of the belongings before letting you into the city, but other than that...
Good to know.
Okay. I guess I go ahead and wrap my stuff up. Press the digitation, make myself slick.
Mold grows on wet rocks, man. I don't think being slick's gonna help.
Yeah.
No, I just need a coating.
Like
I don't think
oil?
slick is a prestidigitation thing either, though.
It's a minor effect.
Now, if you haven't used the minor effect function, it's a DM fiat.
Yeah.
Just cast.
I don't know
grease
how
on
slick.
yourself.
I don't know how slick could be used in a card trick.
I don't know, but reducing the friction coefficient of
Here.
two objects is pretty bad.
Yeah.
Here. Taste this card. It tastes like orange.
Yeah, that I'm willing to accept. Or here's a flower just floating there. Or is that minor illusion?
You can make like minor,
Just
physical
sprinkle
things
flowers?
or do minor tricks like that. Yeah.
Yeah, we can't really do at least noticeable level of slick, no.
Mm.
Just nodding. Onward!
I'll just clean myself if I get something on me.
Who ventures out first? Yeah. As you step into it, it's, very thin here, but probably before you reach the end of the cavern, which as you go...
Hop on broom. Hop on broom.
Fly around.
Fly around. Yeah.
Ceiling covered?
Yes. Yeah,
Does
this
that
is...
carry 2?
Yes.
I also hop on broom. I believe between the 2 weights on us, we don't even hit its higher end. But we may, but still.
If reduced speed.
But, yeah, as you step through, after about 30 feet forward, it's definitely getting thicker enough that it's probably
200.
about 6-7 inches thick. It's just sort of crushing underfoot of like a almost like a tangled purplish sort of mesh of soft.
Is there less of it on the walls? Or is that also like 7 inches thick?
Trying to, if anything, there is more on the walls.
What
if you actually start trying walls or ceiling, you realize that the cave has opened up already, and that, like, for example, here, the ceiling, where it seems like it's keeping that 15-foot height, it has expanded upward, and if you were to walk on the ceiling, it would be over your head.
So it's just hanging down like a curtain.
Yeah.
I put myself at 130 as an emaciated urchin. 15-year-old. I don't know how much you weigh.
How tall are you?
Like 5 something? I'm gonna put that down. Probably like 5'4", 5'5".
Probably something like 40 pounds.
Right. So yeah, we're still under that weight limit. I'm shorter than I thought, but not by much.
But otherwise, yeah. So the pair of you are flying through. The others walking. But yeah, after probably after about 200 foot from where they're clearing it, it noticeably opens up. Though if you're experimenting with walls and ceiling, you realize that it's started to do so much sooner. But you open up into an immense cavern, far beyond what even you can see in any other direction.
But still not as big as Drow City levels.
You're not sure.
Further than you can see me.
Yeah, it's further than you can see. It does have. The Drow City, like any point, like looking like side to side, you would always see buildings, and so it's opened up in that direction as well.
Yeah. I was more thinking the height, but it's just dark up there.
Yeah. Yeah, and you can see at points as you look off into the air, to the extent that you can see. You do see little areas, spots of light, far beyond what you could normally see. Whether from some of the stuff you see nearer by clusters of fungus that does grow. You do start at this point seeing lots of variety to the kinds of mushrooms around. Right around this immediate area where you walk out, most of it's smaller, not more than, a foot across. But from what you could see even out at the end of your vision, a little over 100 feet, you start seeing ones that are, 5 feet tall, 6 feet tall, towering.
The mushrooms are getting bigger?
Mushrooms, caps or like spines with weird tendrils and things hanging down from the ceiling, whole columns. As you continue to step out a little bit, they connect wall to ceiling that seem to at times sort of almost twitch, where you're not sure if there's even like a solid bit of cave within the column or if it's just completely some sort of fungus that is connected the two.
Mushroom biome.
I wonder if we'll find any mushrooms.
But anyways, yes. There is no, at this point, discernible path to take. You can see a handful of areas that you figure people have taken paths this way some point in the past, and it has grown back up since. So you kind of get ideas for that, but there's nothing strictly like where this has been cleared. At this point, movement, this is difficult terrain to move through.
Okay.
It is impeding amongst your feet. The two of you walking, if you care to notice too much, you notice that bits of things are almost like starting to already grasp onto the boots that you wear.
I think any of us have access to pass without trace. I would assume that would make the stuff not stick to us. Because if it got taken away with us, it would leave a trace.
No, I'm sure it's fine. I'm wearing high boots anyway.
We're floating. He's in full armor. So, we're just following your compass in straight line direction.
Well, trying.
Yeah. Unless there's anything you are specifically looking to avoid.
Nope.
Then yeah, you can mostly do a straight line. No column or giant mushroom is more than 10 feet around, so you're not really, which isn't really so much that I would say you're diverging from a straight line towards it.
Yeah. We have to put a little wobble in there just for triangulation purposes, but besides that.
Those of you in the air, how high up do you choose to go? Do you say just off the ground, or do you...
Whatever. Out of the pathway of mushrooms, but not any particularly higher than that.
We're just floating head height. So, we're sitting down and head height to Erich.
Yeah. After probably 300-400 feet into here, you find yourself at what is definitely a middle point for some mushrooms, as there are some towering caps that basically are where the bottom of the mushroom cap is already, say, 80-90 feet up from the ground. They're 70 feet across, mushroom cap that with to a large extent other mushrooms sort of and fungus kind of growing along it. Another 500-600 feet following deeper in and to the point where you can well discern a glowing section of mushrooms, say, 50 or so feet off to your left. And it just sort of seems like some sort of luminescent bio area that's just grown on top of and up to the side of one of the larger mushrooms, but just as like a fungus that's growing on other fungus. And
Mage armor.
Presumably, those of you are in contact, I am assuming, are just avoiding touching any of the larger ones. You just walk on what's on the ground and...
That'd be the goal.
Okay.
Also, fancy clothes are tucked and put away.
Yeah.
Yes. Back to traveling gear.
I'm
Yes.
wearing
Yes.
them.
That's what you always wear. Do any of you have... Are you just relying on dark vision, or are you carrying a source of light?
We always do.
Okay.
Dark vision.
Well, we all have dark vision now, but we still use light because we
Yes.
don't want to
Does
disadvantage.
someone have light on something?
Yes.
Okay.
shield?
On
More
my
than
shield.
likely.
Yes.
I thought about getting light, but I didn't.
Yeah.
Because why?
Yeah, I have two people who can use it.
From the relative silence, at a certain point, it is broken by sort of like a curdling shriek from some short distance ahead of the pair of you there on the ground. Just like a wail that just sort of begins to high-pitched break.
Just nobody objecting?
Were you going to just throw lightning at a sound?
Yes.
I would say no until...
I was like, does anybody have a problem if I just, zap?
Yeah, let's wait until something shows itself.
Yeah.
Especially before you let off the big booms that will alert everyone in this cavern. I know it says only heard up to 300 feet, but in a cavern like this, I assume that's everywhere.
Yeah, let's see what it is. Go, Paw.
Eaten by fungus.
Yeah.
Just immediately devoured as the dead flesh it is.
Yeah. Make a luck check first.
Okay. 11.
11. Yeah, so Paw is able to, make its way and largely climb on top of some of the sort of meshy structure they've been stomping through.
Yeah, he's got climb speed.
And yeah,
Ready action to poof him in case it looks like he's gonna get...
and he sort of walks up in the direction towards it, and around it, and doesn't see anything. I mean, there are large mushrooms in the area. There are... he's not really able to discern exactly what is the source of it. He doesn't see a direct...
Does he feel anything with his blind sense? No, that's tremor sense I'm thinking.
Nope.
That camera's hot.
Monster cards, that's what those are.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's like, what are those? They're too big to be spell cards.
Or are they?
Bum bum bum.
No, they are. He just said so. Sometimes, Nick, I feel like you don't pay attention.
I don't.
Yeah, so it's... So other than that, the rest of you just sort of standing in place?
Mm-hmm.
Sure. It's 7 in front of Vic.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cast the light around,
If
try
he-
to see.
If he's like in the area and doesn't, is not able to see anything, I call him back.
Okay.
Pump, pump.
I'm gonna start off with my hand axe.
Okay.
How does the fungus react to cold damage?
As he just points at an area and ices it.
I stare at it,
Does
expecting lightning to come out of that ice.
Does it freeze?
Well, you know what killed the dinosaurs, right?
Meteor.
The Ice Age.
And the ensuing climate change.
I don't know. I doubt we're getting surprise attacks, so I just go ahead and... Are you a people?
Show my drink.
Mm-hmm. Yes, I just
This
yell
is a
out.
new trick I developed.
Yes. Are you a people?
Ice cold beer on the ride.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah, I mean, it basically reacts as...
Any living thing does to frostbite?
Yeah.
Oh, is this whole place alive? Or is it only the spot that I shot?
Everything you can see is
Everything
living
is
mushroom.
alive. Yeah, it is all alive.
But only the part that I shot reacted, right?
Yes.
Okay. I want to make sure I'm not like shooting the ground and the wall. There's going.
We're not inside some giant fungus piece.
Hey,
That
man,
this isn't
mind
stomach.
link, some other hive mind nonsense. I'm just...
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah, pinch, I need to know whether or not cold works.
And it doesn't answer "Are you people?" question.
No, it doesn't.
Which is
Fire an
pretty
Eldritch
rude.
Blast over the area. Just force damage. Heading up chunks. I think we're good. And or when we get closer it'll pop out, then we'll have to kill it. Don't make us kill you.
Okay, let's just use pen. No, you're all actively trying to basically figure out what
Was it over
is
there?
going on. You may, as a group, just all make whoever's looking can make a perception.
I helped.
I rolled a 2.
No, you don't. You roll.
What?
23. Got that 19.
+4, I guess. So
Yeah, same bonus.
9.
that's 16.
16. Those above 15 spots a off to sort of the left and slightly behind you. That some of the mushroom and stuff is like moving to the side, like something is passing through it quite low to the ground.
So you're saying that my 7 didn't make it?
Nope.
I fire an Eldritch Blast in front of it.
Warning shot.
Yeah.
Okay then.
Didn't answer us. It might be a beast. It's obviously stalking us to sneak up behind us and attack. I'm trying to trigger it so it can't sneak up on us. You look so surprised.
Yeah.
It's obviously a wild animal that didn't answer us.
I was gonna
If it's a people, it'll stand up. Whoa, whoa, man! Don't shoot. That's why it's a warning shot.
I was going to shoot with lightning bolt.
Yeah.
Just in that direction. It's a big long line. I mean, can't miss.
It's only 10 feet wide. It could totally miss.
Yeah, but I can see the movement. I just have to hit the movement. Bam! And if that misses, that's a warning shot.
In reaction,
You seem so
make
surprised.
a charisma. It'll be a charisma check, whether that's intimidate or persuasion. Depends, I guess, on what you're trying to do right now.
I fire in front of it and say, come
but
on,
I will let
we
you
don't
make
want
a-
to hurt you. We just don't like you sneaking around. It's going to be persuasion. So that is +8, +5, so 25, 30.
Okay. That is sufficient enough that even though you're clearly aggressive act,
Their act was aggressive, sneaking around us, hiding in the bushes and trying to snorkel.
How dare you walk around in your own house?
How dare you sneak behind us and look like a freaking large predator cat
Sneak
about
up
to
on us
eat
while
us.
trespassing.
and a
We're
yeah,
not
sort of
trespassing, we're just passing.
What is the,
I will just show a medium-sized sort of fungus creature, along with a dozen small, gray, sort of live and
Fungus
gangly,
dogs?
yeah, sort of little fungus men with spears and such, and I'll just sort of stand up and they start.
Okay, just don't attack us. Do any of you speak Common? Or Celestial?
I like to imagine he says "or celestial" in common.
I say Celestial to Celestial.
They're fungus. Do they speak ground?
I speak in Undercommon. Are you able to understand me?
And they kind of keep, they are making with their high-pitched gestures, just sort of.
Are they waving at us to go away?
How did that make noise? My phone is silenced.
Because it hates you. Yeah, they're kind of just sort of.
I guess we move on. Just follow the things. Like, just keep looking back at them every once in a while, make sure they're not sneaking up on us to attack us.
They are stalking you from a distance, yes.
Just always looking back at him.
Should I?
Letting no.
There's 12 of them. They're pretty close packed. I've got a thing for this. I haven't even used it. I think I used it maybe once.
Yeah, I think we're fine. We just have to.
We don't need to attack random underground dwellers.
But just keep
But
it.
say 100. So you continue and you move forward.
Well, towards the arrow, wherever that's pointing.
Okay. Which puts you again getting much closer and then passing whatever is the source of the shrieking, and say 120, 150 feet beyond that, and it sort of dies off.
Are we still being followed?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Pantomime with the compass say, no, we're looking at a thing and then going where it points.
Yeah.
Because they don't talk.
They totally
So make big animated gestures going, who?
Kalidan,
And walking that way.
we need you to communicate with them.
That's right.
You're a Pokemon! You were born for this!
I dust off my armor and interpretive dance time. I rolled a 4 on my interpretive dance time. I don't know what perform.
Well, you don't know what the problem is. You convey that message perfectly, but they don't seem to respond. They must just be jerks.
Yeah, I got a 4 on my performance.
They don't seem to necessarily get it, but they kind of.
At least
one of
I
the
point at us and
more
point in direction.
adorned, with little patches amongst the gray that are, like growing like glowing purple or yellow or orange spots, sort of walks up, points at the compass, and points off to the side, the direction it's not pointing.
Oh, this way.
And we just keep on trying. Yeah, they're obviously trying to come with us to our village to talk. Don't care.
I hold up a hand to them, and then
I totally could have taken tongues or something.
I whatever. Point to myself, and then I point to them and make this kind of gesture.
I want to eat you.
No.
He sort of takes a few steps back and just sort of like pulls one of his others forward. He's kind of resisting and tosses him forward, and the guy kind of lively walks up beneath you.
High five. Yeah. We fly.
Whatever.
What are you doing?
It's like, I'm looking at you. Even I don't know what you're trying to say.
Yeah. Well, I'm making gestures to them, so
Yeah, my character's saying, what are you trying to say? I don't even get it.
I'm gonna cast a spell and see if I can talk to them.
Well, just cast it.
Well, I'm telling them that I'm doing it before I start, and so they don't freak out.
Is it a ritual?
Yeah.
No.
Okay.
Starts doing ritually things. You got tongues?
No.
Comprehend languages?
Well, yes, but
10 minutes.
Cast. To cast a spell or ritual special must have feature grants by so.
Yep.
I must have spell prayer. I just suppose now. Okay, so let's go to wizard. I have my mind what ritual does, but
It's like we've been using it forever. It's like we usually pick out a couple, well, especially for him, herbs or poop or something out of his bag and sprinkles them around and stuff happens.
yes, but quite specifically, we've had the mindset and the way that the ritual has worked, but has typically utilized a little bit of space.
Oh.
Which he doesn't have right now, but officially it doesn't have to. That is flavor based. So
We just usually sit down because it's 10 minutes. Why stand?
yeah, that is what I was checking. Is can you just do that with flavor? But yeah, so you do that, and they get bored, and they walk sort of back to you and point to compass and point off to the side.
Yeah, no.
He will grab the side of the compass. You notice sort of sharp claws on it, and he not forcefully, but he is lightly tugging. Do you release the compass to him?
No.
He nods, and he just sort of walks that direction and just sort of pulling from.
No.
You're just standing
Just
there.
take that back. Don't damage this.
And now we're all just standing here looking at them while we wait for Ryan.
Tell them in Primordial that they should learn a real language.
It seems to be lost on them.
Mm-hmm. I don't know.
Not
I just use
giant, are they? Because it would be terribly
No,
inconvenient if the only person who could speak to them was me.
No.
no.
They're also small creatures, so hopefully they don't speak giant.
Yeah, there's like a medium dude and a bunch of small ones.
Yeah. And the medium one is not speaking.
Oh.
It's sort of it seems to be used by at least a few of them right now as a bit of a mount.
Oh, the medium one is their dog.
Yeah.
And the small ones are the people.
Yes.
Okay. I thought it was the other way around.
Nope.
There's one medium-sized mushroom and 10 dogs.
No. It's a bunch of little bitty people and one dog that is larger. But they're able to basically continue on the now go this way for the 10 minutes that it takes for you to.
At some point, I'll just use a persuasion to ask them all to sit down. So 7, so 5 less, 25.
Do you do so by sitting down?
Yes,
Because you're up on the broom currently.
yes, I lift myself up on the broom and sit down. Motion everyone to sit down.
They're not going for it, no.
No.
Well, whatever. We spent 10 minutes here eyeballing them.
What were you casting?
I cast Rary's telepathic bond, and I cast it on the guy, and myself, and him, and him, and him. And
So just the one with the glowing spots?
he was the one who was willing to talk with us, right?
He is the one that had approached Erich.
You have to touch people for telepathic, don't you?
Nope, 30 foot. So
Welcome, I'm in your brain!
No, I go.
And languages don't matter in there, I guess?
Nope.
Stop it.
Whether I share it or not, we can communicate with telepathy now.
Okay.
Hi, we're in your brain. Welcome.
And it's like now we should be able to communicate. So what was it that you were trying to tell us?
And he sort of went on,
As we're all just staring at him.
where are the lawbringers?
Has to be willing creatures.
Yeah, it's got to be willing, but
Did he resist the spell?
No, he no, actually in response to it.
If it has an intelligence of 2 or less, it can't work.
Okay. His immediate thought there is wait, where is one of the lawbringers?
lawbringers. You mean the drow? I communicate what a drow is.
No, the bringers of law.
Make
They
an
speak
image.
with the others.
Oh.
It's the Lorax. It speaks with the trees.
Describe what a lawbringer is.
Now he thinks of it, and we all see it.
Yeah, including pictures.
I'm in your brain. It's a different monster.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Bigger
Myconids,
Yeah.
for those. I don't know what that is.
That doesn't look like the ones you showed in the book.
It's not.
There are different subspecies of fungus people. Evidently, there are more than one in D&D.
No.
There's a reason I designed a whole area based on it. There's all sorts of cool stuff with fun. One of the things I wanted was underground for a reason.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You just have caves, man.
Yeah.
What?
And it's like, we don't know them. We're using magic to speak with you. Why do you want us to go that way?
Yeah. What's with the lawbringers?
That's where the nearest lawbringer window was.
Oh, you wanted us to go over there so we would be able to talk. Well, we don't want to. We're going that way. Did you guys need something?
Yeah, did you need anything?
Well, yes, you were disrupting the Shrieker. They don't like light.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, we didn't know. Yeah, you should hand that information over to the Drows in Bereven. They really don't know anything about this area.
They're morons.
No. Very few of them venture this way.
Yeah.
Well, we'll pass it on when we see. Where are the Shriekers? Are they only in the really big mushrooms, like over there, or where do the Shriekers usually live?
He just
Thinks of
pauses and thinks.
And thinks about where Shriekers are.
Well, thinks about what a Shrieker is. It's a big cat mushroom with lots of holes on the top of it.
A triumphant, veiny-looking fucker.
I ask him, could you know this area, could you give us an idea of what this area is like as far as location?
That is too complex a question for him.
Are there any other dangers we should know about moving forward?
Any?
What does a paralytic mushroom look like?
It's a mushroom that makes... It's like all these are transmitted in thought, not words. So he gets the idea of something that paralyzes your body. Is there a mushroom like that if you touch it and you become paralyzed? Or if a non-mushroom person touches it, they become paralyzed.
Maybe.
I don't think the toxins work the same with them, so I don't think we're going to get good information out of that.
No. What's dangerous up ahead?
Depends what's in the area.
Okay, so...
Nothing known. Okay.
Yeah, okay. We were told to...
Things shift.
Yeah. And we were told not to
I
mess
asked
with
for
the floating
examples,
eyeball mushrooms.
He pauses, and he looks around a little bit. And he'll go up to one of the more veiny, pointed top ones with some tendrils growing out of it, and kind of walks up and grabs one of the tendrils and lightly tugs in sort of a very similar fashion to what he was tugging on your thing, and it just sort of starts rolling slowly, but, you know, at a 5 foot per round speed, just sort of in the direction where he's pointing, but it just sort of moves, sort of replanting and uprooting as it goes.
So he can walk a large mushroom?
Yeah. It's a medium, like it's you know,
Bigger than him.
Yeah, bigger than him, and he's just sort of pointing, and it will just kind of walk.
Well, that's cool. I don't see how it's useful to us, but it is really cool.
Well, his point as basically you are conveying the thought of. By the way, you can now think to all your party too.
Oh,
you can actually involve in conversation.
Oh, I am. None of this interests me.
Sorry.
We're talking to stupid mushroom people. I don't get to kill them. No one needs protecting. I'm waiting for them to be done so we can move on. I'm probably eating something.
Well, we can move ahead.
But anyways, it just the comment was you had asked what's dangerous ahead, and he wasn't sure what's dangerous ahead. It depends what is currently ahead.
Yeah.
Is kind of what he was conveying with that.
From my brain, you get a miasma of boredom.
Yes.
One.
So
My
basically-
character's bored. I'm terribly interested in him. Don't misunderstand
Okay.
me. I know it looks like
And you had
I'm
just
distracted,
included
but I'm
the
actually
main
listening.
one of them, correct? You hadn't included the whole group?
No.
Okay.
Say if he was the one who was willing, then he would have been the one included.
Any of them would have been willing.
Oh, okay.
The effect that you gave is incredibly similar to the effect that they were desiring for you to go get upon them.
Alright.
cool.
I
So
restricted
there's
one.
I asked them to think about the Myconids again. The Lawbringers, like, what kind of people are they? Just bigger mushroom people? Do they have a community?
Some are somewhat bigger. Well, yes, you're headed, it sounds, towards the city.
Okay, so over there was the nearest one. Over the way we're going is city.
Oh, yes.
Oh, okay. So your thing says City of Mushroom People is interesting.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
Let's go check it out.
Yeah. But we're heading that way.
I mean, it's like, can we go to the city? Would that be fine?
There's no reason not to? Okay.
We just have to turn our light off, I guess.
The sort of thought is, I mean, there are lights all around. It's, dimmer lights preferred. We are aware some require light. Just don't stand somewhere and point it at the shrieker. Basically, that's what you had done, is because you got to the way where it's pointed at, and you're like, we're just going to stop and wait for this to go away. And so it just kept going.
Alright, so if we hear yelling, we just go around and away.
Yeah. Or at least turn our light off.
Yeah.
Yeah. I asked him if he knows about the eye tyrant that looks like a mushroom puffball. Does he know what this is?
Gas spore?
And so you know what those things are?
Mm-hmm.
Are they dangerous?
Don't touch them. Don't pop them.
What happens if you pop them?
Yeah, what happens?
Do they explode? Think of a fireball.
He imagines an explosion, but there isn't fire with it.
The cloud of spores
Yeah.
in every direction? Yeah. It's like a spore explosion. Gotcha. And whatever that is probably isn't good.
How do you deal with them?
Avoid them. Hide.
Okay.
So we got telepathy,
Mm-hmm.
and I can speak to you in my brain
Yes.
with like pictures and stuff.
Oh,
Yeah.
god damn it.
I need to tell you guys a story.
Cancel the
Can I
spell.
cancel this?
You could have resisted before, but
Wait, hold on, Eric. And then he's like, I want a story with animals. I want pictures of animals. Tell me a story about how you tamed animals or something.
Give me land-based creatures that I've never seen before.
Yeah.
Specifically, things I can use to polymorph.
the greatest story you think about was the white whale.
That was pretty impressive.
Yes. So next time we get into combat, we just turn you into a whale. Be the porpoise.
That the dolphin? Yes, me and the mad captain at sea during the great storm, facing against a giant of a whale the size of a mountain, teeth like volcanoes.
How's the fungus person dealing with this story? As he's getting full visual for you, you're in the movie.
You're in the open sea with the flies flashing with lightning, the great waves coming up and down, then shouting at the ship.
That's
The captain
never been
on
on the
its prow,
surface.
waving his mighty harpoon.
How much attention are you paying to?
The mushrooms to
Yeah,
stress level.
to the mold guy compared to just focusing on the story he's telling.
I'm focused on a mold guy because I think this is going to be hilarious.
And you may make a perception check.
Yeah. I focus on it when the animals are there, but yeah, I'll pay attention to the old guy when it's not.
Okay. Otherwise, yeah, your passive was enough that you. But yeah, you notice the biggest difference. Well, he doesn't seem upset. Or you notice that the colored glowing spots just start to grow.
The man's attracted to whales. Weird.
Yeah. I asked him about the glowing spots on him. What are those?
Fungus.
Smooth drink.
What do they mean?
I think they like me.
Yeah, apparently stories give him more glow.
And we float towards the city.
Yeah.
It's like, think and walk.
Hey, we can continue to converse with him for the next hour.
Yeah. Basically, when it's up to him, well, our spell's going to wear off. Bye-bye.
And we're just floating along.
But yeah, otherwise, yeah. And so you travel on for many more hours. You certainly come across some other shriekers. Unless you want to mess with the what basically appears to be a beholder made of fungus, unless you want to mess with it, you see one but are able to...
I'd say either avoid it or use...
It explodes. I can hit it from really far away.
Just ignore it, keep walking.
Yeah.
It's like, did anyone say they're going to be aggressive if we turn off the light for a Shrieker and just ignore the Eye Tyrant? Or was the Eye Tyrant... Spore Ball aggressive if it saw us?
They said they hid.
No.
And there are other fungus, so...
Probably aggressive.
Yeah.
So shoot it from really far away.
Just hunker down, so we don't got to fight it. That is not where the compass is pointing.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, they apparently explode, but an explosion isn't dangerous far away.
I don't know, the spore cloud could go really far away. It's like, I don't want to get spored.
He's a spore.
Depending on how smart it is, I might be able to use minor illusion to distract it and have it attack something that's not actually there.
Mm-hmm.
Or we could just ignore it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We go with our lives.
Depends on how aggressive it gets.
Yeah. If you try to be cautious, you guys are more or less able to...
Then yeah, that sounds good.
to avoid. But yeah, you travel on more hours. You're getting tired.
Oh, also, while we're telepathically bonded, he tells a story about it as well. I'm like, Jimmy, you've been to the surface. What are some more realistic animals?
The whale was real. It was just really big.
Yeah.
Think about things like horses, squirrels, trees, foxes.
I love that trees is included in the animals.
What?
That doesn't say a whole lot about your character. That says a lot about you, my friend.
Would I have ever seen lions?
Dogs.
Of any of those,
Yes.
that'd be...
What about giraffes?
No.
Giraffes? How about would I have heard of a giraffe?
No.
I wouldn't have heard of giraffes?
No.
What about dinosaurs?
What about an animal that I've heard of but I've never seen?
He's never seen the elephant.
I don't know, just a T-Rex. It's like, do those exist in the circus world?
Say Erich would be the only one who would have seen unusual stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, cow.
Squirrels would be weird to you.
Yeah. But I know whatever the wind ferrets are. So
Yeah, man, that's like foreign
that's
zoos
kinda-
having deer and raccoons in its exhibits. It's like, that's just weird.
It is weird.
give me
They
a
have
brain-
whitetail. It's like those are the
Octopus.
best delicious food.
I've never seen an octopus,
No.
but I've heard of them.
Yes.
Yeah, it's like you...
I tell a story that has we talk about some octopuses, and I imagine what they look like at them.
It has a really weird cephalopod. You just know it has 8 arms, but it has
It's
a
got
human
8 arms,
head,
yeah, so
all coming out of its ears.
So it looks kind of like a mermaid with 8 big human arms that have like 3 joints instead of the normal 2.
I would...
Weird surface.
I would like to imagine... You've never seen...
Do you know what him doing that does? It tries to force the concept of, are you allowed to make things based on what you've seen in other people's imaginations? Because it's probably going to force the answer from yes to no. Congratulations, Austin. You have probably stopped him from gaming the system that way.
Well, I want to tell them the story about exotic animals, and what's more exotic than something even I haven't seen?
Yeah.
I don't know.
The only reason you've seen lions is because I am sure you have fought them at some point.
in a gladiatorial pit. I also like to imagine you've never seen an octopus, but you have seen mer people. And imagine that an octopus is a multi...
Probably who told you about that.
It's like a mer person with multiple arms.
Say I might have
Here's
seen
the
an
bigger
octopus.
issue. He started this campaign at level 1.
Yep.
When did he fight a lion and live?
in the-
In
No, no.
what What hell escape are you imagining that he fought a lion and was like, I'm fine now?
At this point, we don't believe he's actually a half-elf. He's some sort of magical fae that just keeps reinventing himself.
I just think he's freaking lying.
Oh, I can tell you, I traded all my experience and skills into a god in order to resurrect an old king who was doing good for his kingdom. His loss was really detrimental.
I still don't believe you.
I thought, what an adventure! I'll learn all my skills again.
I don't believe you because you
maybe do something different this time.
Yeah, he might have gone through psionic.
Well, I sold that to provide for an orphanage.
I don't believe you.
I refuse in any universe where this could actually be true. But it could be true. She would have stopped talking.
No, it just couldn't be. You're so irresponsible with money. I don't believe you would have tried to save an orphanage. You would have accidentally spent all of your money on beer.
I have
clothes.
I have an infinite cup of beer.
And you spent a lot of money on that, didn't you?
Yes, I did.
Which means you're not strictly wrong.
I don't believe them.
Of course you don't.
My character.
Part of the joy of it.
It's just like, he's lying. Stop it.
I am pretty sure when he started doing it, I'm pretty sure he didn't believe him either.
Your disbelief does not make it any less true.
Or more true. Neither way. It doesn't really affect it.
Yeah.
As we stop,
all that matters is I was there and it happened.
when we stop, go ahead
So
and scrape the ground in a 10-foot circle. So we can set up hut.
Okay.
Oh,
Do you use anything specific to do that?
My unbreakable sword just...
Fire dragon's breath?
Well, that was burned, but I don't want to get it out of control. But I guess with control flame, we can handle it.
Well, this is a little more of an orange fungus than what they've been fighting there.
Mm-hmm.
You did notice that as they shot it there, it didn't catch fire. Mm-hmm. It burned away, shriveled back, and then put itself out, at least what was in the other area. This is a different color, and therefore probably a different fungus, but...
It catches on fire like straight gasoline.
It has pores in it when it has...
Well, that's why we have you on standby with control flame. You can put out bonfires.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So how big of an area are you?
Evidently a 15-foot cone. We just fly Erich up and straight down. Breath.
He didn't do that. He cast it on you.
Oh, then we fly up.
I'm sorry, he said fire. Did you think for a second that he did that on himself?
Yeah. That'd be weird.
Fly up, find a good level spot beforehand, then circle down.
Okay. So you basically make a circle for you to get set down and then really make the...
Yeah.
How long does that last?
Dragon's breath?
Mm-hmm.
Like 10 minutes.
Okay.
So
you have it long enough to maintain it where by the time the spell is cast, it is still... it is still outside of...
Just walking in.
How wide outside of it did you clear?
Well, I burned away that first area to give 5 feet on either side.
And
1 minute.
Yeah.
I was like, I thought
Okay.
10 sounded too long.
Then I just, as it's creeping up on the circle, just breathe it back.
Okay.
Just enough so it shouldn't have much in the circle. Or any, really.
Okay, so basically you're working to... Just while he is doing the spell, okay.
Yeah.
But you're basically able to do that. And does everyone get into the circle as...
Yeah, they have to in order to even sleep in it.
Yeah.
Unless they're going to sleep on top of it or something.
Yeah. But as you sort of settle down for the evening, before you've gone to sleep, it has... Because you can see out.
Yeah.
It is
Yeah.
opaque on the outside, transparent from the inside.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It
has grown up over top of it. So it is basically a mound over top of you that has encased you, which at the very least makes you completely invisible to anyone outside.
Yeah. Good thing we didn't sleep out there.
Yeah. As we're just eating alive bush fungus.
So now we have our protective fungus dome all around us.
Mm-hmm.
I make the color of it to match the fungal colors, and so we blend in even better. Alarm.
How far outside the circle did that go? Or do you just cast it?
He is casting it inside the circle, so it is basically the circle.
Oh yeah, because you can't cast spells outside the circle.
Yeah.
So if anything manages to get through our impenetrable bubble, we'll know. Which I guess is good for teleporters if someone teleports in here.
Or dispel, whatever. Yeah.
Theoretically, dispel would mean a whole lot of fungus falls on top of us.
You don't know.
It's just rigid up there.
It gains structural integrity.
It does now have a dome shape, and it has grown together at the top, so it might be.
We now have our very own little hidey hole. No larger than a 20-foot cube.
But sadly, it's stopped at the walls of the thing, because you can't cast through it.
Yeah, can't cast spells through.
Otherwise, did anyone do anything before drifting off to sleep?
Anyone have a question for Sword?
Ask the Sword more information about the war that we're supposed to be stopping.
Yes. Give us more information on the war. Click.
The war is yet to start. I send you to encourage the fight to begin.
Okay. Tomorrow's question is, who are we encouraging to fight? But that's slaves, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, the where's the most important.
And the
Unless
answer
you-
is deeper underground that we don't know about.
Unless you want to ask the why.
Because the sword's bored.
Explain thyself,
Yeah.
patron.
It's like, you brought me down here, gave me all this power, brought me back to life. Give me clear directions. It's like, go start a war with slaves. Where? When? Why?
I open up my book and I read through the chapter about Grumsh.
One-eyed orc deity.
Yep.
Just trying to figure out where he's hanging out.
Unless you actually care. I gathered again from the other that you probably didn't.
I'm still learning.
Yeah.
This will help if you ever roll checks. But otherwise...
Yeah. But I mean, again, like, this is Ashram, but it actually, like the section would begin with Asheron. It would then include ways to find, known portals into the realm, places on the material plane where those could be found. It would include information, certain things like where within Asheron his strongholds and his fortresses have been. Most of the it is actually trying to track them and actually provide a practical means.
Okay.
Also, as we're sitting, do we have anything we want to trade or talk to the mushroom people about? Or just go there and wait for the compass to reset?
We'll see what's there.
Yeah.
Maybe they have neat stuff.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't want to be racist, but I don't feel like plant people have neat stuff. They probably have biological things, but not in a whole lot of technology-wise. Or
Anyone else want to collect that?
Does anyone know Myconids are highly advanced creatures?
What, like Bash the Stampede?
What what were you literally told as you left the Drow City?
They come to trade and they're nice.
Come to trade. Where did you get those staffs?
Oh, flamethrowers. Okay, they do have cool flamethrower sticks.
It's like they have access to something. That has been...
Granted, you spent all your money. It's like you didn't even ask the corpse card if they had made any progress on making your Rauda rope.
Yeah, I don't have any money.
Yeah. Oh, by now, does Bob have a most luxuriously thick beard? Give
coming
us
in
a
nicely.
week.
That's coming in nicely.
Well, I've had a beard for a while now.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Is it now brain length?
He could, but that would drastically shorten it by doing so.
So?
Better for fighting. Less of a handhold.
Yeah. In other words, you could get it to the point where you could keep it neat, a little bitty braid right here by pulling it all together. If
You know
wanted.
that I had a beard, like, the entire game, right?
Yes, but your beard has been like
The same length forever.
this. It's now like this.
I don't know if that counts as a full beard.
Yeah. I mean, Austin's is a full beard. and
I
it's always-
presume your beard for most of the game has been a current Austin beard. Yours is now just exceeding the epic previous Austin beard.
How long has this beard? I had a beard before the game entered. We started the game.
Mm-hmm.
So even if I had that beard at the start of the game, how long has this game been going?
like
Several months?
Yeah.
Yes. So
Have you not been keeping it up? Which you totally have the things to do so had you chosen to do so.
I don't have the things to do.
Yes,
so.
you do.
From where?
That is amongst your pack. That is amongst your equipment that you own.
When does beard get down here?
And probably be within, at this rate, within the month.
But no, I would have let it grow out.
Then you might have a little bit more, but still, yeah.
So when does he become cousin It?
I don't know, dwarves usually don't look like that, so
Yeah.
I doubt you'd get beyond a normal dwarf.
Yeah.
I have kept my head freshly shaved, though. Since apparently I have
Yes.
the supplies.
Yes, you do.
It's like, haven't
You are assumed to have
head.
basic hygiene supplies to keep yourself up, unless you don't.
I always saw my guys having a big bushy beard, and you apparently
Never thought of it.
DM edited it so it had a short beard.
I never even thought of it. I mean, I don't know where you described that. So
I believe at the beginning I said a great big bushy beard.
I forgot. I'm sorry. I was too focused on the fact that you had a different name at the time.
I might not have. Yeah, you misspelled it terribly.
No, I mean actually during character creation, you named someone from a movie, and apparently it was a joke, and I didn't know.
I don't remember. I have been known to make the occasional joke.
But I didn't know the movie, so it went over my head.
It was an Angus Argyle joke,
Oh yeah.
and he confused Kalidan for Angus, so he thought you were your uncle. But
No, he was like William or something like that.
yeah, well,
Yeah, William Wallace.
Yeah, that was your name.
Uncle Argyle.
Yeah, that was originally yours and your uncle's name.
Yeah,
That was apparently a joke.
I was
William
never
Wallace
even
is pretty
entertaining that
famous.
as his name.
But you said it. Apparently it was a joke. It just went over my head.
Well, William Wallace is pretty famous historically.
There's that one movie about it.
I don't know. Sorry, my bad.
He tried to revolt in Scotland, died setting off the actual revolt.
I'm sorry, but we can go ahead and blame the American education system. We didn't really learn
But
Scottish
there's a
history.
movie about it.
I learned about William Wallace from Age of Empires.
Of course you know a lot about it, then. I'm sorry.
I played through that whole campaign.
I am
tutorial.
I am very bad at that game. I have tried it once. I did not.
So we sleep, get full heals, wake up surrounded by fungus.
Yep. Oh, you actually just had the same dream you've had before, only with more color of the mold the raven is flying into, engulfed in. You know, the same one dives down, full growths, flies up, gets caught in the ceiling. Yeah. It's just more colorful this time around.
Alright. Let's clear off the top of the dome while it's still up.
How?
We can
Stick
put our
our-
swords through.
Yeah, you can stick your
Flaming sword.
items
Yeah.
through it and get rid of it.
Flaming ass just...
Flaming axe.
Yeah.
just kind of doorway in there. It's like... And we'll all hop out and wait for Ryan. Like, make sure to get out of the hole.
Oh. Alright. And You're under control, and you're under control.
Just leaving them in the bag? Or the hole?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, leave them in the hole for now, since we're in fungus territory.
Come on, I had all sorts of fun ideas for that.
Now they're in the hole. I'm just like...
No fungus zombie skeletons for you.
You did clean us off before we got into the hole, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Almost certainly, yeah. At the point where you woke up in the morning, there were little pools inch or so across where things had been missed and it had grown, but you do enough to figure out. If you get it down to very small amounts, then... Yeah,
its growth power is grass juice.
Exactly, yeah. Small amount of it grows very slowly. It takes the amount of it to grow at the speed that it does.
Okay.
No fungus holes.
So we continue on.
But yeah, otherwise, about another 4 hours travel this day until you see, and about another hour after that to reach what is very evidently the city. With basically I guess when you see city with lights and things that look city-like up ahead, do you pause to scout from distance, or do you just continue to follow the compass?
Let's go. We know.
Okay.
We know it's there.
Exactly. Okay, then you get there and I'll just switch out. Yeah, basically within some of the larger mushroom structures, there have been, almost things hollowed out, houses created, massive gardens of fungus within, and you see large numbers of the Myconids in the area. As you are getting very close, probably like just outside of it, you find probably a good, 200-foot sort of stretch around the city from the way that you are approaching it is covered in a very different fungus that is mostly gray with patches that are sort of red and rusty, and there are many of the mold people that you had met out in the wilderness here. Very few of the actual thornies, the beasts that were with them, and different shapes. The one that they had was more cat-like, but there are some that are more takes on goats or dogs or...
Are there mushrooms?
I don't even know what you mean, but...
Moo, cow, shrooms.
No.
There are goat shrooms, but no mushrooms. Okay.
There are cave goats, there are no cave cows.
Not true. That was our first encounter.
That was a minotaur.
It was a cave cow.
And it was also our second encounter.
Yeah. It's not wrong.
What do we... Oh yeah, that bug that grabbed me.
Yeah, thing that grabbed you.
But otherwise, yeah, there's like almost like a patch that goes off for some distance around the city that appears to be these tribal, and there are hanging from off beyond the distance little spindly, quarter of an inch thick sort of tendrils that you only know must continue up, but from which there are light sort of teepee kind of shaped, that sort of cone-shaped housing and covering sort of dotted around the gray area that are like suspended and pulled up from the ceiling. That you sort of see some of this smaller of the mold folk poking out of.
So they just have suspended housing from the super ceiling?
Mm-hmm. Super ceiling, or some of them you might even see going up to from some of the caps of some of the larger mushrooms.
Is anything in the gray zone between, or does that look like
that's the mold people?
Okay.
That looks like the house of the mold people, which were the spear wielding kind of tribal ones, and their stuff is just sort of dotted. Once you pass that, which there aren't exactly streets through that, but on the inside of it, there are clearly, this is a path. Once you're almost like it is a barrier that surrounds the city and keeps the outside mushrooms outside and the inside mushrooms that seem to have this very neat structure and sort of that has been developed into a strict. This is a city where the many of the Myconids live, and as you sort of walk into there, just sort of. They just kind of, you get some looks, but for the most part, they just kind of...
Minor illusion, glowing, waving, smiling hand. Waves at them.
Why couldn't you just wave at them? It's far less creepy.
It's magic.
You get one of the ones that is really sort of comparable in size to you, sort of approaches cautiously, but seeming joyfully, and getting to about 10 feet from you and shaking with spores that fill the air in about enough to encompass you. If anyone is close enough to you, they would get them as well, but about 10 feet around it.
Make sure to cover my face more.
But as you breathe that in, a youthful voice in your mind, much like your telepathic bond, trick.
Oh, are you one of the log bringers or log givers?
Oh, yes, the mold ones.
Oh, okay. Or I guess you are the more civilized people of the area.
Well, we live here.
Well, yeah, you've obviously built something. We met some.
My elders.
Yeah, I think of the gray ones that we met in the caverns. We met some of these.
I think you're talking to a 10-year-old.
A baby fungus person.
Yeah,
shoot with lightning.
Stop asking that!
No, please. I know I'm not supposed to shoot this one. It doesn't have a sword.
Yeah.
It has no weapon. It would be unfair.
Yeah, we came to visit the city.
Well, that's a good question. Is this city the place the compass was pointing?
It is enough that you're confident that whatever it is pointing at is within this city. Yes.
Well, yeah,
So it's
I
not
gotta go find
swirly
it.
yet.
Well, yeah, so it's not the city itself. It's got to be something in the city.
Mm-hmm.
I gotta go find it.
And it's like we're on an adventure to go and find what's something special that's here in the city.
Oh. There's much special in the city. What special are you looking for?
Look over the compass. That way.
Yeah, we're not sure. We're following this, which will lead us there.
Ooh. How does it do that?
Magic.
Magic.
I don't know magic.
Yeah, I do.
Me too. I won't show you though.
Fine.
They're asking for it.
If you're talking, then I'm guessing you got within 10 foot of it.
No.
Well, then you can't hear.
Oh. I thought I was still hearing it through them.
No, it makes no sound.
Ah.
No, it shakes
Yeah.
force, and then you can tell.
Yeah.
Well, then, yeah, I'm not even trying to. I'm trying to leave.
Yeah.
Stop playing
And
with
it's
that plant and let's go.
And it's like it looks like we're heading off this way. Did you want to?
Stop.
Right.
Just
And yes,
enticing
as you
children with
go, it
candy,
will
Ryan.
just follow you along the streets.
Hey, have some candy, kitty.
Magic illusion! Don't you like this? Yes,
It's
come!
in the hole.
Hop on my broom!
I don't know. He couldn't polymorph, but can he now show pictures of puppies? Or kittens?
No?
I thought about him yesterday on our illusions. So he now has the cutest surface animals in his brain. Can he make illusions of those?
Yeah, I'd say I'd be able to do that now. I suppose. You'd be able to create.
Yes,
images
lure the
of-
child into the portable hole.
These are friends.
I swear it's not a windowless
Do you
man.
actually try to do that? Because he would totally fall for it.
He wouldn't.
We should not kidnap the children.
Even if he came across skeletons and zombies, he probably even wouldn't conceptualize what they really are. He'd be like, "Oh, these are different."
Funguses don't have bones.
Yeah. And it's like, no.
They have a medical condition. Puts their insides on the outsides.
No, they just don't have outsides.
Or insides for skeletons. They just have skeletons.
He is willing to follow. However, you quickly notice, unless you are willing to wait, he moves about 10 foot. He has a 10-foot movement speed.
And it's like, oh, we're headed this way, guy. If you can catch up.
Yeah.
And we'll just keep heading that way.
Making a child chase us.
Well, it's alright. He can go and ask his parents if he...
No, we're giving a child with a life lesson. You're not good enough, and you never will be.
Or, more importantly, you don't have a magic room that increases your movement speed. Which is, I believe, why you have it.
You need to take levels in Monk.
Or Barbarian.
Can you imagine a mushroom person who's supposed to move 10 feet, moving like 60?
To be fair, they're much more likely to be monk than barbarian.
Yeah.
The mold ones are much more likely to be.
Well, I didn't see any of them using rapiers.
Nope. They had spears.
How unbarbarian of them. Everyone
It's
knows
the way the barbarians in this world work.
the greatest barbarians use rapiers.
Only the ones that want to
work with it.
Only the ones that want to get paid, but just end up finding friends that are unwilling to accept any reward for any of the good deeds.
It has been kind of a cliche of my character that I make my character and everyone else makes characters that are made specifically to annoy the crap out of my character.
Harmonica!
The only one my character is like kind of fond of is him because he helps.
My character was built in isolation.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I know.
Technically, you were all built in isolation.
I know,
for this
and
game.
ironically, we still wind up being annoying to mine.
But yeah, walking through, and you see what are definitely shop fronts, and houses, and families, and parks, and
Okay, more...
a nice, pleasant little...
Okay, I take back my right facade about plant people. They seem to have a nice little city going here.
And these guys do.
They're still made of plants. We're made of meat. They're made of plants.
That doesn't make
That's-
them stupider.
Racist?
No, it's not.
Drop them in a stir fry?
Huh? Oh, they're not plants. They're fungus.
So they're not even as good as plants. They don't even fall under the kingdoms category, do they?
They're not in that particular branch.
Okay, so we're made of meat and they're made of fungus, and that's not racist. It's just what it is.
Yeah. But if you think they're less because of it, then that's...
I don't. He does. This is
I did, and
less.
I did it initially. Now I've seen it's proved me wrong. I'm willing to change my stance. I was coming from a place of ignorance.
But more or less your compass seems to be pointing to a large, luxurious palace-like mushroom.
Well, I mean, I've already met one royalty.
You know what's weird? They're making their
I
think you
elves
technically
out
met
of the
two.
things they're made out of.
Who else?
At our trial, didn't the king preside, the dwarven one?
You know it was at the end in the palace. I do not remember if I specified that it was him or not.
Ah.
I think it was like a judge, but
Yeah,
he might have
there
been
was
there.
like a judge, and then the business owner were the main dudes from our trial.
Oh, okay.
Because it might as well be called Everyone Goes to Jail.
Oh, this is nothing. I've gotten arrested a lot more in other games.
Waffles.
It's draping because it's so fresh.
Yeah.
I never got arrested for that.
Neither did I.
I got arrested for disturbing the peace a lot of the time.
So yeah, well, I'm just gonna walk on up there. If that's where the compass says I'm going.
Okay. There is a door.
No
Is it
guards
open?
or anything?
Hmm?
No guards or any people out here on the steps?
No one like of particular guard, but yeah, I mean there are people
Is
around.
the door open?
It is not open. No.
Is it locked? I tried to
Make
open it.
A luck check.
Come on, don't film me now.
Oh, you cursed my dice, you
that.
bastard.
I'll take an 11.
That is a...
14.
14.
14. It is locked.
Knock.
Like,
One of
is
the
this
ones
the
from
obvious
sort of
front
off
door?
the... Yes. One of the the medium, your size, sort of Myconid, sort of standing off to the side, walks up, shakes, and even in a larger area, just sort of spores pour over. Yes?
You live here?
No.
What is this building?
Who lives here?
The Sovereign.
I'd like to meet them.
Have you made an appointment?
I didn't need one to meet the Queen.
You did not have a queen.
Well, I met her. She enjoyed my company very much. I'm sure your sovereign would, too.
How do we go about making an appointment?
Assuming you got close enough to spores?
Yeah. Well, once you told me the spores make you telepathic to it.
Yeah.
Yeah. We must go and find Fungus Princess.
And I will note, as you have spores, just as I may forget, they basically, they would need to be reapplied every hour to be functional. But otherwise, once you have them, all of these people you can speak to and understand within 30 feet.
Okay, so it's not to an individual.
Nope. It just basically opens you up into the conversation with the community.
Does it work with anything? Can we cyclically talk to each other?
Yes. You can cyclically talk to each other if you have the spores.
But it's only within people within 30 feet.
Yeah, it's within 30 feet.
Okay.
I wonder if we can just buy big bags of this and before battle just and have psychic links.
What are you doing? Powder our nose?
We're getting psychic, baby!
Right.
I'm so in touch.
Well, we could just give some to Paul, and then he could just squish it in his hand whenever battle starts.
So does he have the key to the store?
No.
It wouldn't
Yeah, I asked how do we make an appointment? Just make an appointment with
These
the
are like fungus stores. They wouldn't have like keys. They'd open based off of, the living stuff moving.
Yeah.
Oh,
Tug on the door gently?
But no. From the office.
where
And
is
he
it?
just sort of turns and walks.
Follow that mushroom.
Well, does the palace have any, windows? Are
You're
they
not
open?
walking up the walls. We're making an appointment.
Are any of them open windows?
Most of the windows do not have any. The windows do not have any panes of glass.
Then what are they?
Holes in the wall.
All
So they're not.
extravagantly cut. Basically with a thin lattice kind of structure.
I can't get through that.
Yes, we're making an
Looks
appointment.
much like the kind of thing that you were walking through for the last day and a half.
Oh. I could definitely just go through that. I mean, I don't really need an appointment. Maybe you guys do.
Huh? Well, why would we? Yeah.
Is the
I
compass
go
still
ahead
pointing
and say
in here?
At the point where you're standing at the base of it, it is probably relaxed.
Oh, well then yeah, I don't need an appointment anymore. This is all it was.
No. Okay. Well,
You absolutely know that once it gets you to the point where it thinks that you will figure out that where you're supposed to be,
Okay.
that it relaxes then. As soon as you stepped into the temple, before you found out what it was, it relaxed. As soon as you got to the city, it relaxed. As soon as you found the person, it relaxed. As soon as you found the cavern, it relaxed. You didn't have to explore what it was for it to relax. It got you there, and then it was like, okay, we're good.
We were almost able to just leave, and then Adam had to do a spiel.
Well, I guess yeah, we'll go to the office.
But yeah, there is...
I'll be in the if they
should we
refuse my
really
appointment.
try to set up an appointment? Would this really be in character for you to even care about such a thing?
well, meaning royalty. For me, they were.
Yeah,
I've had
if
brief
the appointment's
mentions
right
of-
now.
Yeah, I've had brief mentions from the sword and dreams that I need to gather allies, and these mushrooms seem advanced enough. Maybe they can be allies.
Well, yeah. Maybe if we can make friends with
And
them.
most likely, if I go and ask for an appointment, I'll just be allowed in. Unexpected, probably, maybe.
So at this point, you're the first one to enter because it is literally like the first building. As you were walking towards it, it was the last building on the left before the road that turns and circles around the palace, outside from the front door. But he kind of leads you in, and there are there's probably 7 Myconids just sort of sitting at counters and desks inside of here, just waiting.
That's a good point, Nick. We should get people on our side that don't have brains that can be extracted.
It is good.
From metagame information, that is something I did not even consider and incredibly useful.
Wait, what?
That is not something I thought of, but that is an incredibly valid point. But yeah, just sort of 7 adult Myconids just sort of look up as you walk in the door.
They're alone in here?
With 7 of them.
Well, I mean, there's no customers.
There are no customers.
Then yeah, I just walk up and ask for an appointment. I am Erich, Rauda, famed adventurer, and I'm here to see your sovereign.
When would you like to see him?
Ooh, I'm free now.
And they kind of shake, and you hear a pitch.
It sounds like opening day.
Just a low tone.
Like a very
high tone.
high tone. Barely, but yeah, you can kind of tell there is something there. And they kind of, sort of, almost like grabbing and pushing through and rolling out and hand you what is like this rolled stalk of, like stalk from a mushroom. Very well. Did any of you approach any others?
Is it a piece of paper?
No, it is a rolled up stalk of a mushroom. Like it is like a tube.
It's a tube? I don't unroll.
Yeah, there's nothing to unroll. I'm
going to assume it's a key. I'm just going to go back to the door.
Okay. Do any of you talk to any of them, or do you just follow him?
We are with his party also to see the sovereign. Do we each need a key? Stock tube thing?
And others kind of look around, and they will each do the same.
Yeah.
And hand each of you this weird rolled bit that's sort of from the middle bit of a mushroom.
Yeah. No.
Just they don't react adversely if you try to.
And how do we get in to see the sovereign? Do we just go back to the door?
There is a door.
No. Look out there. Is there another door into that building? Or is it just the same
They're
door?
just pointing to the front door.
Oh, okay.
Is it like a tube?
Inside, there would be enough that, like, if you were to pour a liquid, it would make its way through, but it would go back through some various chambers.
It's the center of a mushroom. It's just a stalk.
Yeah.
Alright.
It's a cylinder of mushroom stuff.
I'm just determining that it's not like a woodwind instrument.
Doesn't seem so, no.
Okay.
Or straw, really.
Then let's go.
Does the door have a circular shaped hole?
No, but as you, like, kind of, get it close, but before even touching it, kind of almost reacts.
Sphinctery.
Not quite, but...
Well, remember, that is not just the butt. That is any whole or closing muscle group.
Yeah, but it acts more like a door.
Oh. Like it actually swings open versus...
Yeah, well, essentially, as if, like, part from inside is pulling it to open, yeah.
And then it goes.
So the sliding door.
See? No weight at all.
Mm-hmm.
For the esteemed friends of Rauda, there is no weight.
Yeah.
That's what did it, yep.
Famous.
But otherwise, yeah.
You can still hear him as he pats himself on the back.
You step into the large mushroom palace, and a large-sized Myconid is kind of settling down into a throne, not straight ahead of you, but kind of just sort of, and there's like a chair thrown off to there, but just sort of off to the side, just sort of a throne that he just sort of sits in there.
Like that's his business throne and this is his lazy boy throne?
You're not quite sure exactly why, but he's sort of sitting off to chair on the side and welcomes you in.
Hey, go up.
Speak kindly to leader of nation thingy.
Make a performance check for my sauntering into the room.
Okay.
With gravitas and impact.
Mm-hmm.
And I flourish and introduce myself. Because I'm here to see the sovereign.
Wonderful.
As we...
And is there a show from the rest of you?
No, they're just, with me.
Yes. It's like, you're
My guy's
sharpness.
actively thinking about smithing stuff and just going through the steps in his head. Keep it sharp.
It's like, introduce myself, and
Are you trying to share that, or just...
No, that's just
Okay.
what I'm thinking about.
if this is mind reading, they can just pull surface thoughts out of them. That's what they get.
Nope.
Just
Just report. You would choose what you are saying.
Yes.
Yeah, my character is basically not paying super close attention to what's going on.
Mm-hmm. Basically, I want to try to get friendly with this gentleman and, explain our adventures and why we came to see him, and that there's unrest in the caves. There might be a war coming with slaves and horrors from beyond stuff. I'm really vague about that last part, but
Yeah.
we wanted to inform you.
No. Where
If order is to be brought,
Mhm.
we could see to that.
Oh, okay. Yes, but just trying to lay it on thick and actually make friends with this person, because so far of all the communities and stuff, this one seems the most well ran and not racist or vaguely evil overtones.
To be fair, as far as the yes or no racist, this one, other than you guys, which they've not necessarily reacted poorly to you guys, but you have actually not seen anyone in this city that is not a fungus.
Just because people
In fact,
choose not to live there.
the gray mold folk, you have not seen inside the actual city. They are just encircling it. So just as far as, this is the least racist. There were a lot more integration within all of the other civilizations.
This is the least racist to me. Given that I'm not actively getting sidelong glances or dwarves telling me, isn't that cute that you think you're people? Or gnomes who just, you're not allowed in my town. Why? No, screw you.
Gnomes are probably the only ones that's more
Yes.
as far as just the city's segregation.
What? They're totally good with Goliath as long as they have a good reason to be there.
And
Like no legs.
And
Who ain't got no
It
legs?
wasn't a good reason to be there, but a
Strong case was
but
made
yeah, a
on
good
his
reason
behalf.
that they had to.
Because he's Lieutenant Dan, he ain't got no legs.
A good reason that if he wasn't there, he might just be dead.
Yeah.
this is the most homogenous society.
Yes.
Now there are many different kinds of fungus that form the city, I suppose.
Yeah. But yeah, otherwise just trying to be cool with them if I need to roll for that.
You may.
Don't budge. Yes, 30.
Okay.
Yeah, good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So why doesn't he use the big throne?
You
I
just
came
asked-
from the door over there.
There's just multiple thrones in the room?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I passed this one first.
So far, just glancing around, are all Myconids, really slow?
No. You notice probably the larger they are, the faster they are.
Mm-hmm.
But in general, even, sort of his movement across to the chair wasn't faster than you.
Oh, okay.
Well,
I didn't know if they
but
were
as
the
the- but
kid
it-
stuck at 10 foot.
But yes,
around.
as they're very small, they are slow, and in general, at the very least in what you're talking about them, they seem peaceful. Mellow, if you will.
Yes.
Well then, a good day to the Sovereign. We shall avail ourselves of the wonders of your city and be away in time.
We just wanted to inform you of this thing and that we may come if we have more information.
Yeah.
I think to him about the aberrations that I think that we'll be dealing with. Are you familiar with these creatures?
Also, does your town host a mage branch?
I can ask that
Would
later.
it like to?
You have a little concept for... What are you trying to think?
Just general concepts of
You
what
think a
aberrations
slot,
are.
or yeah, I think of the slotty. I think of what I think of Mind Flayer as.
Because basically from that you have some bits of drawings and etchings that you'd seen.
Yeah,
Um,
I think of the aboleth, and I think of things that I've studied in my book. I mean, it's like these are the kind of creatures that we might be.
He is
dealing with.
unfamiliar. They have not ventured into our city.
And the Chul.
Yeah. But not really the Chul.
Well, aren't Chul's aberrations?
Yeah, but they're not important. They're not the people who we'd actually be...
Do you include them to what you're thinking of, though?
Yeah.
They seem
Okay.
the most likely that they would see.
That they have seen.
I go ahead and think, and it's like, whatever, the Chul are creatures that are usually subservient to these other ones. Or at least we've seen them as such. So these would be the actual like controllers of the Chul.
Well, then those ones are staying at a distance.
Yes. And it's like, so these are the ones that we might be having a problem with here in the future that the war's going to be about.
Whether directly influencing the war or bringing order in its wake, if asked, we would be likely to accept.
Yeah. Say if we could put this to bed.
Just without the insight check, do I get a feeling the word order is some sort of higher meaning to this person?
It probably means assimilation into the greater mind.
Or something like that.
One of us.
We want to bring order to the universe, said the Borg.
Unity.
Yeah, you get a sense that it is sort of the idea between law and chaos.
Okay, they're just more lawful than others.
Yeah, yes, you get that there is a strict, sort of legal structure. You would need an insight check to get beyond that. You don't get it.
Me?
Yeah, if you're, I mean, ultimately he is including you in there. If you care to, you could.
Oh, okay.
I don't think either of you would care enough to.
I'm already leaving.
I'm not paying attention.
21.
Come on. You would almost get the idea that they are less concerned with someone being good or evil, and more concerned with whether or not they are, of chaotic or lawful. Just as far as where the mindset for their alignment, whether or it's like if the law, like essentially the idea they have a good relation with this Drow society. This is the nearby Drow was a lawful evil Drow society, and they have no idea for that. They have a strict structure. They follow it. It is just fine. They are happy with those neighbors. Those are not a people that they would want to fight or try to tear down. They are doing exactly the way they should. They are following a strict structure of rules.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I go ahead and think about the Slotty and that
Yeah.
they're essentially elemental chaos.
Yeah, they're there
creatures.
from. Yeah, exactly. It's like
And he's like, so that's one.
exactly.
Of
It's
the
like it's like you definitely this is like his sort of agreement with it. He's like if they are.
I think of them. What happened? I think of them. The question: what happens if you find another law-abiding culture, but their laws are contradictory to yours?
Great, we get to sit through Ryan having a philosophical argument with the mushrooms.
I don't know. It's like
An
A
intelligent
treaty could be written, and boundaries established.
As long as they're
Means to
following
protect
laws.
Means to protect and enforce them, enabled, and enacted.
But if push comes to shove and there's no reconciliation, then you'd take action.
How are you getting into this philosophical hypothetical with the Mushroom King?
The
Because
laws
Ryan likes to
are
waste
enforced within our territory. Our laws have no meaning outside of it.
Yeah. Okay.
When a boundary is established, that is where the law starts and stops.
Does your law extend everywhere the fungus extends? Because we know the Drows burning back just at their doorstep.
Yes, as per the agreement.
Okay. So this is, wherever the fungus is, that's Myconid territory.
Do you have arcane practitioners?
Yeah, he's saying there are those that work with magic.
Arcane? My type of magic?
Just thinking spell books and other stuff.
I'm little aware if they work with your type of magic.
No.
Well,
I'd still like to go and take a look.
Yeah.
well, we thank him for his time, and then set out. We are going to enjoy your beautiful city before we head off.
Lovely. And you make your way out, and he just sort of gets up and walks across the room to some other room as you're still walking away, leaving the room before you have bothered to clear it. But when you get outside, the door will then close behind you.
Are mushroom stocks dissolve or anything?
No,
Oh, okay. Point it back at the door.
does nothing.
Yeah,
Just throw it away.
Yeah. I look around for trash cans.
Back
or
to the
something.
ground with you.
This seems a lawful area. I figured they have public sanitation.
I have that lovely little C in my alignment. Yes.
True in.
Yeah, you don't see anything that you are able to identify as a trash
Oh,
can.
you're a lawful neutral?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Chaotic.
Yeah,
I like our just baseline across this line.
yeah. You're not able to identify specifically a trash can, no.
I just
Just
throw it on the
pocket.
ground. I just throw it in the ground. Over there somewhere.
Yeah.
Passing a garden. Drop.
Specifically trying to. Otherwise.
We can go shopping while I wait for the compass to reset.
Let's go with 3,700.
6-1?
Yep,
761.
So, got an experience. We've met the Myconids.
What's our next milestone?
More.
85.
Ah.
So, join us next time for more. Bye.